Huge display, relatively compact phone size, improved new hardware, insanely good camera, and many, many more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, perfectly summarizes Samsung's latest flagship. How beautiful and how well the Koreans have copied it. You will find out after a while, or at least our opinion, of course. My name is Nikolay Velikov, and this is Galaxy S8. This video reaches you thanks to citytel.bg. You can check the price for this or other smartphones on the link below. After the announcement of our partners, let's return to the main character of the video. We start with the packaging because there is something to be seen. So you get Galaxy S8 and an operation manual you probably will not read at all, and here are some interesting facts. There is a small adapter from the micro USB to USB Type-C port so that you can use your old cables. There is an interesting USB to USB Type-C adapter to connect your old smartphone to the Galaxy S8 for a quicker personal data transfer. A charger that supports fast charging. USB Type-C cable that also supports fast charging. And of course, the AKG headphones, praised by a lot of people, quite good for headphones in a standard smartphone packaging. In general, this is the full packaging of the Galaxy S8 and Galaxy S8 Plus. It's good. It's even generous from Samsung. Let's go on with the more interesting. There is hardly anyone who has not seen the dozens or even the hundreds of likes for the Galaxy S8 and Galaxy S8 Plus before their official announcement at the end of March. In general, everyone knew everything before the appearance of the two smartphones. Keep in mind that everything you see and hear about the Galaxy S8 also applies to the Galaxy S8 Plus. In fact, the only two differences between the two models are the size of the display and the size of the battery. So, undoubtedly, the Galaxy S8 is the most beautiful Samsung smartphone. It is the most beautiful even among all smartphones in general. Of course, the first thing you'll notice is the unique display called Infinity Display by Samsung itself. The display is as wonderful as any Samsung, but Infinity is something completely new. Apart from the fact that giving names of products is wonderful marketing, in that case the name is quite accurate. This shows the Koreans' desire to emphasize in words the combination of a huge display, almost the frameless design, and the curved edges of the display. In other words, on the left and on the right, no frame. Under and over the display, the frame is tapering, and all of that smoothly curves in the metal frame on the sides, and then also with a smooth curve overflowing to the glass back. The whole structure feels like a piece of glass, so beautiful and sexy that there is no more to be desired. And once the display lights up, it's just hard to describe in words. It's mind-boggling. That's what you can say about the look of the Galaxy S8. The dry on the background of the design. Characteristics of the display include 5.8-inch in the Galaxy S8 and respectively 6.2-inch in the Galaxy S8 Plus. Both displays are Super AMOLED with the new WQHD Plus resolution. That means 2960 at 1440 pixels in 18.5:9 ratio, which is more than the standard with 2560 at 1440 pixels with 16:9 ratio of the sides. In fact, Samsung extended its display vertically as Apple did with the transition from iPhone 4s to iPhone 5. Is this okay? Of course it's good. However, keep in mind that the feeling while writing will be the same as the 5.18-inch display with a standard 16:9 ratio of the sides. Yes, an useful area has a height, and eventually if you use multi-window functionality, but when writing in a portrait mode, it's like typing on the 5.1-inch Galaxy S7. So although beauty is always a matter of taste, I guess there is no other opinion, and everyone will find the Galaxy S8 a uniquely beautiful device. In life, however, everything has a price. Here, Samsung has paid an enormous cost for the design. Above the display, the company logo is missing, but this is the smaller problem. The bigger one is that there is no emblematic home button. Yes, there is home button, but it is part of the display, and in this case, it leads to several disadvantages. Removing the home button somewhat changes the user experience of long-standing Samsung fans, and when it comes to changing the user experience, I personally think this is never a good idea. Before, Galaxy 7 owners, for example, pushed the home button for two reasons. On the one hand, to unlock it with its built-in fingerprint sensor and to move it to the start screen while somewhere in the smartphone interface. You no longer have to press it to move to the start screen. You can just do it by tapping. In fact, it works in both ways. You can also do it by pressing because Samsung has made a vibration feedback very similar to that on the iPhone 7, but you risk activating Google Assistant. Probably just by tapping will be more convenient. As for the lock screen, when Always On display is activated, you will also see the home button. Here, it works almost as in Galaxy S7. You press, you feel the feedback vibration, and the display lights up. But it does not unlock. And it does not unlock because there is no built-in fingerprint sensor. Instead, the smartphone waits to be unlocked in one of the many ways: code, pattern, fingerprint, iris scanner, or facial recognition. It's okay, but it does not unlock. It is said that Samsung did not have time to finish and build in the fingerprint sensor under the display, so at the last moment, they moved it to the back of the smartphone. This change is a problem in itself, but the bigger problem is that they have chosen a rather bad position. The Galaxy S8 is an elongated device, and the fingerprint sensor up to the camera on the top can hardly be convenient for anyone. Moreover, it is not in the middle, and provided you hold the smartphone with your left or right hand, you just cannot hit it from the first time. Take another problem into consideration. Quite often, even unconsciously, users unlock their smartphones over 100 times a day. Somewhere there were statistics of 200 times a day. And if every time you're unlocking takes a few seconds just because you have to find the fingerprint, it is very likely that you find it inconvenient or even unusable. The same applies to the gestures that the fingerprint sensor supports. They exist, but taking into account the location of the sensor, you will probably not use them. And if it is like that, you either go back to a code or scheme lock or to the more advanced features while scanning the eye iris or face recognition. Both are naturally present in the Galaxy S8. The iris scanner is cool, like a James Bond movie. In my case, it works even in the dark, but it has two drawbacks. It takes time to adjust your eyes to the scanning area, and if you have glasses or contact lenses, just does not work. Even if you do not wear glasses or lenses, imagine the 100 or 200 unlocks per day, how long they will take you to adjust your eyes to the scanning area. The iris scanner is reliable, but it does not give speed, like a fingerprint, for example. As for the face recognition, it's okay. It's easy to be tricked with a photo, but it works. If you want security, use an iris scanner, a matter of choice. The fact is that face recognition unlocking is easy and fast, i.e., it works. It works even in the dark because the Galaxy S8's display illuminates the face. The only remark here is that the first screen must light up to a locked display state to activate the face recognition. In other words, the situation looks like this. You take the phone, press the home button or the power button when the display lights up, you point it to your face, and it is ready. Here's a good idea for Samsung. Add the raise to wake feature, just like you-know-who, then users will just pick up the smartphone. The display will light up automatically, triggering the face recognition, and everything will be perfect. I have not seen such a feature in the Galaxy S8. If I missed it, someone to correct me because that's important. So everything so far wherewith inconvenient methods of unlocking comes from having a new touch-sensitive home button that does not have a built-in fingerprint sensor. Not only has it not got, it's in the wrong position on the back, and all this is because of the beauty of the S8. Beauty, in this case, has a price. On the other hand, the Galaxy S8 is the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. After touching it, you probably will not care at all about how you'll unlock it. but in any case, I wanted to mention it. Still, here's some advice from me. I have personally found it most convenient to unlock the smartphone with the face recognition, and something more, there is a Smart Lock submenu where you can set trusted places and trusted devices. There are others, but these are the most important. You set up multiple locations, such as at home and in the office where the smartphone will not lock, and you will actually unlock it just by pressing the home button, just as you've locked the Galaxy S7, for example. It's the same as if you have a smart clock. You can set the Galaxy S8 not to lock if it's close to the clock. At least for me, it was convenient. And to finish the design theme, Samsung once again uses the symmetrical design since Galaxy 7. The curves of the display and the glass back to the metal frame on one hand are equally smooth and symmetrical, and on the other, they create the impression that the S8 is super slim. But it isn't. It's actually 8 millimeters thick and is thicker than the 7.9 millimeters of the Galaxy S7. This time, Samsung is cautious and have used a 3,000 milliamp-hour battery. Probably they could even get a bigger one, taking into account the 3,500 milliamp in Galaxy Note 7, which is of similar size, but fear is the highest fence. And so it is right, because many new jokes have appeared along with Note 7. In fact, the Galaxy S8 battery lasts as much as that of the Galaxy S7 with one charge. The two batteries have the same capacity of 3,000 milliamp, and the larger S8 display is offset by the more economical chipset and the more aggressive energy-saving user interface. With an aggressive energy-saving interface, you can understand the different power-saving modes, background processes management, and the built-in device maintenance application to manage all of this, including Edge Panel Widget. The Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy S7 supports fast charging and wireless fast charging. But there is one important difference. According to Samsung, new battery technology is used in the Galaxy S8, which means that after a year of use, the S8 battery's health will be 95%, while the S7's battery's health will be only 80%. In other words, if they now stand approximately the same time with one charge, in 6 months, the S8 will last longer, and a year later, even more. Once we have switched to the hardware, let's put a point on the design. This is the Galaxy S8, and it's super beautiful. That's enough. With regard to the hardware theme, the situation is far more boring. Expected and normal upgrades: Snapdragon 835 for the USA, Exynos 8895 for Europe, 4 GB RAM, 64 GB built-in memory, and memory expansion slot with micro SD cards. Adoptable storage is not supported, but it is no longer necessary. You will not be able to fill 64 GB with apps. If you like to shoot videos with 4K or FHD at 60 frames per second and the built-in memory does not enough for you, you can put your micro SD and no problems. The new chipsets are the most interesting here. They are the first in the world in the new 10nm technology, which brings several advantages: smaller size, less heat, and uses less energy than older generations. For fans of synthetic benchmarks, here are the results of the Galaxy S8 from Antutu and Geekbench 4. The Galaxy S8 uses the new Type-C port for charging and synchronizing with a computer, and next to it is the microphone, the only speaker, and the dream of the mellow man, the 3.5mm jack for the headphones. Everything here is as fans want. No remarks. Well, the loudspeaker could be a little louder, and we've already commented that it is not easy job on waterproof devices. The seal is so good that if you put your finger on the speaker, you literally dampen it completely. I wonder how to qualify it as an advantage or the opposite, but I tend to favor it. On the right is the power button. On the left, just below the volume up and down buttons, there is a new button for Samsung's new Bixby Assistant. Once you call it through cards, it provides the user with the relevant information: meetings, time, tasks, Facebook posts, and virtually everything that Google Now can do. According to Samsung, with voice commands, Bixby will be able to do everything that can be done by touching the screen in the Galaxy S8, which is quite ambitious. The proof of their ambitions is also the hardware Bixby button itself. There is no option to change the functionality of the Bixby button or the so-called remapping, or at least not officially. Time will show just how successful or unsuccessful the Bixby project will be, especially since the smartphone has a Google Assistant. Personally, I'm hopeful because Bixby practically duplicates the good features of Google Assistant, but Samsung has made deep integration with its applications, which is convenient. And they start well. While watching a picture in the gallery, for example, Bixby interferes with a green dot and offers the option to recognize the objects in the picture, to display more, and in some countries, to add a button to buy such a product. Some more bonuses in the Galaxy S8 are the support for gigabit LTE connectivity and the new Bluetooth 5.0. Keep in mind that with Bluetooth 5.0, the Galaxy S8 can connect to two devices simultaneously, have higher data rates, and work in a longer distance. On the back, as we have already said, there is the awkward fingerprint sensor, but beside it, for a balance, as it is modern to say, there is the S8's unique camera. In fact, it has the parameters as in the last year's Galaxy S7 12-megapixel f1.7 aperture camera, dual-pixel autofocus, optical image stabilization, and can record 4K video at 30 frames per second. FHD video at 60 FPS, incredible slow motion, hyperlapse, and more. There is a special food mode among the shooting modes, which is incredible. There are also filters to shoot and can be used for photos and videos. They enhance the contrast, brightness, color dynamics, and bunch more magics that literally make more wonders with the cutters. But there are no wonders. Behind the beautiful and improved camera is the new multi-frame processing technology. In practice, the camera takes several pictures with different settings and combines them together to get a great result. Something like that is done by Google's Pixel smartphones, but they use software, while S8 and S8 Plus use hardware, and it's getting faster. In fact, combining a few photos into one final image is also used by Huawei in P9, P10, and Honor 8. But there are two cameras instead of one. Well, the Galaxy S8 does it with one camera. How, what, and how many pictures are shooted remains a mystery, but the result is obviously great. And the front camera of the Galaxy S8 is great. 8-megapixel f1.7 aperture, autofocus, auto HDR, and 1440p video at 30 frames per second. In other words, with the Galaxy S8 or Galaxy S8 Plus, you will be the kings on Facebook and Instagram. After the appearance, the Galaxy S8 is the next divine thing. The fans will also be pleasantly surprised by the Galaxy S8 software. There is a new Android 7.0 Nougat version of the operating system and renamed by Samsung. Experience 8.1 user interface. There is a special feature to stretch the applications in the new 18.5:9 ratio of the sides, and thanks to it, you will see everything on the entire display area. While watching a video, there is an option to expand the video, but it is not a problem. Victoria's Secret's fashion show looks perfect. To cope with the much longer display, there is also a one-handed option. Just sliding from one of the lower corners of the display to the inside of the screen and ready, you have a smaller screen. If, however, the slide is from one of the top corners, activate a pop-up window. You will hardly use that, but yet you have it. More important, however, is that Samsung has finally added the ability to swap back and recent apps buttons. So you can now choose where to be the back button, left or right of the home button. If you do not see the apps button, aka app drawer, when you switch the smartphone on, but you want it, no problem. Simply go to the Settings, Display, Home Screen, and tap the Apps button to display it. However, we recommend that you use the Samsung Experience 8.1 gesture to access the applications. Simply slide your finger up or down the display. We love the Video Enhancer feature for contrast enhancements and color saturation while watching videos on the smartphone or on YouTube. Definitely a pretty strong feature that has become favorite for us quickly. The colors of the videos become so intense that they are a bit unrealistic, but in the end, the important thing is to like it, right? There is also a development in the Edge interface. Do you remember Note 7 and the extras of S Pen? Well, here is a full Edge screen that includes some of these options. You can easily create GIFs from the videos you watch. You can scan a text from a photo and then even translate or copy it, and many more. Sure, all of them are convenient extras. Well, they have borrowed some things, but it's for good. Blue Light Filter can automatically remove the blue light from the display in the dark hours of the day, which does not tire the eyes and helps for a healthy sleep, for example. In the interface, however, it seems that Samsung has been in a hurry to put the smartphone on the market. Here are some minor remarks which there is no way not to be seen or felt while you are clicking around. In the Settings interface, by entering a sub-menu, the preview is like a page unfolding or something like that. Conversely, when you return, you have a reverse animation. It seems that while they have been in a hurry, Samsung has not smoothed everything here. As you enter device maintenance, for example, the animation is different. It's a little confusing, just because there's an animation different from what you expect. In any case, it is not fatal, but it still makes an impression. Probably this will be fixed in the next update. And if somehow Samsung sees this review, another advice: Dear Samsung, please add a gesture back from the left end of the display. It's in iOS, it's comfortable, it's kind of natural, and it's not difficult to be realized. Finally, but not least, Samsung, in tandem with Microsoft, have added the ability to use the Galaxy S8 or Galaxy S8 Plus on a larger screen, external monitor, or TV. It's about the DeX station. The idea is like Continuum at Lumia 950 and Lumia 950 XL. Once you turn on the Galaxy S8 or Galaxy S8 Plus to the DeX station, you will have an access to a completely modified Android user experience optimized for a mouse, a keyboard, and of course for a big screen. You get many options for many open windows, contextual menus, and more. But last but not least, the Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy S8 Plus are waterproof with IP68 rating for dust and water protection. You can spill fluids on them, bathe with them, put them in the tub, and they should be able to withstand. Of course, you should not overdo it. That's all of us. The Galaxy S8 and the Galaxy S8 Plus are not perfect, but they are so beautiful that once you touch them, nothing else will matter. If you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Have a nice day, and always be positive. We'll ever get better.